What if the most powerful upgrade your business needs isn't, another external tactic, but an internal rewrite?
So our deep dive today, and we're drawing insights from unlocking abundance. Clearing money blocks fast, it really zeroes in on this critical concept, money blocks. We'll unpack what these blocks truly are, how they quietly limit, well, both your aligned income, and by that we mean income that really resonates with your values, your purpose, not just cash for cash's sake, and also your broader impact. And crucially, how you can actually begin clearing them and pretty quickly to foster growth from a place of confidence, integrity, and maybe even a bit more ease.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a topic that I think really hits home for so many ambitious entrepreneurs out there. You know the feeling, right? You've poured energy into strategies, invested in courses, got all the tools, and yet something still feels kind of stuck. Maybe your income's plateaued, or that massive impact you know you're capable of, well, it just isn't quite reaching its full potential. What if the most powerful upgrade your business needs isn't, another external tactic, but an internal rewrite? Like rewriting your money story. We're diving into that sort of invisible architecture of wealth today.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're exploring why, despite all your conscious effort, all the hard work, you might just be hitting a ceiling.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So, money blocks.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit, I don't know, mystical, but what's really insightful from this material is how these aren't just like negative thoughts. They're described as deeply ingrained subconscious programs, often running on autopilot, dictating your financial reality, even when you're consciously aiming higher. It's almost like your internal financial thermostat is just stuck on a lower setting, no matter how much you try to turn up the heat externally with, say, new strategies.
Right. And what's fascinating here isn't just what they are, but the insight into how they get programmed into us in the first place. This deep dive, it reveals a few key origins. First up, childhood conditioning. Think about those seemingly innocent phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees. The really profound realization here is that these comments, they don't just teach frugality, they can inadvertently program a really deep-seated scarcity mindset. One that actively pushes abundance away, regardless of what you consciously want. It's like a financial ghost in the machine, really.
Wow, that's actually, that's wild to think. A phrase your parents or grandparents maybe said without thinking could be quietly setting your income ceiling decades down the line.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just childhood, too. There are broader cultural narratives, the idea that maybe rich people are greedy or something similar. These societal stories can subtly influence how we perceive wealth and, well, those who have it. And that can create this internal conflict if you start earning more yourself. And then, of course, personal experiences, especially past business failures or maybe even trauma around money or success, that can create powerful blocks. You might unconsciously start thinking, oh, I can't handle more clients without burning out. And that thought then shapes your reality, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, and as I was reviewing the material, what really struck me was just how stealthy these money blocks can be. They don't always show up waving a big red flag, do they? This deep dive points out manifestations like consistently undercharging for your services or feeling you have to overgive to clients, almost like you need to prove your value beyond what you're actually paid. Or maybe you're avoiding raising your prices even when you know you probably should, because there's this underlying quiet fear of rejection and that feeling, that persistent feeling of just not being ready. Saying no to big, maybe game-changing opportunities because you don't feel ready, even if, objectively, you are capable. I bet many listening recognize that kind of quiet self-sabotage, but maybe never connected it specifically to a money block. It's almost, it's kind of heartbreaking when you think about it, isn't it?
It absolutely is, because the brain often filters out opportunities or even creates situations that actually confirm these deep-seated subconscious beliefs. It's this really powerful feedback loop. You consciously want more success, more income, but unconsciously you might be putting the brakes on, creating resistance to it.
So when you look at all of this together, the potential ripple effect of actively clearing these money blocks, well, it seems pretty profound. It really goes beyond just seeing your income increase. This material explains it as fundamentally expanding your ability to lead, to serve better, to inspire more. Your abundance, once it's unlocked, it just naturally ripples outward. It creates opportunities and impact for others around you, too. It sounds like a really fundamental shift in your whole approach to life and business, actually.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, clearing these blocks is really about aligning your financial reality with your true worth and your values. It allows you to attract and, importantly, receive at the next level without those internal limits causing that self-sabotage we talked about. So, for you, the listener, here's an aligned action, a practical next step right from the material to get you started, maybe even today. First, identify just one limiting money belief you feel ready to let go of. Just one. Second, replace it with one empowering truth, something that genuinely resonates with you. And third, take one small, tangible step to embody that new belief. Act on it.
That one small step idea is really interesting because, entrepreneurs, we're often wired to tackle huge challenges head on. So how does this material explain that a seemingly tiny step can actually create these deep, lasting shifts? Especially with something as ingrained as a money block. I mean, we don't need to fix everything overnight, right?
No, definitely not. It highlights that consistency and these small aligned actions, they actually create new neural pathways in the brain. You're essentially teaching your subconscious a new story, one small successful action at a time. It's really about building momentum, not about overwhelming yourself trying to change everything at once. And, this raises an important question, doesn't it? What if the next level of abundance you're seeking isn't just about the external actions, the strategies? What if it's more about becoming the next version of you, the version that's actually already ready to receive it?
That's definitely a powerful thought to sit with. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into unlocking abundance.